I think it's so easy for so many general managers or like even coaches to see like, okay, you're not in top 500, like that's it. You're not. I'm not gonna even look at
Hmm.
you, right?
So I guess for as a support player to support player type of uh, connection, how do you feel about grinding ladder as a main support player? Like, how do you feel about it? Like, a lot of times people say the main support role, unless you're in an actual team environment, is like the least impactful. Gets me a little salty when I hear it, but at least in the ladder perspective, how do you gain those SR and those SR points and just be like, okay, I'm able to, with my skill as a main support, I'm able to grind because sometimes people are able to do those, like at least for DPS players or even for tank players. A lot of times they can be like from I'm gonna do a 3800 to 4500 stream, and then 2 weeks they're there. How do you feel about it when it comes to the main support solo queue ladder, and what do you do to grind moving forward?
I mean, straight up, as a main support, you should be prioritizing watching gameplay or like
Hmm.
footage over playing the game in solo queue. Because solo queue pushes, you got to have mechanics, 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 mechanics. Like it doesn't
Right.
completely throws out like game knowledge and meta and how you're supposed to play because
Oh yeah.
everybody's doing their own thing, right? Like you're not
Right.
like you're not on a team. It's not a real team environment. From my own personal experience, I was 3500 SR when I first got signed to Immortals.
Mhm.
And the only reason why I got that tryout is because somebody like was very fond of my shot calling skills and things like that, and they got me into that tryout and like my
Right.
communication, and it's because I studied gameplay and I was watching the pro scene more that really helped me be a better main support. I wasn't like very good mechanically, but I knew how to like lead a team in the game, and that's what
Right.
matters the most for main support, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, and I
Yeah,
think I'm not the most mechanically. You will not see me, Reddit Lucioing
yeah,
in the
yeah,
back line getting five.
yeah.
That's just not me. Like a lot of times, people are like, "Oh, the way you play Lucio is boring." It's like it gets the job done effectively, and I'm maintaining my team and keeping that tempo. So I feel like for me, a lot of times players in the tier 3, tier 2, even sometimes I mean I could be wrong, but maybe even sometimes in the tier 1 scene, just by looking at it as a fan, a lot of times people have that solo queue mindset that sometimes can be a detriment. Actually, oftentimes, in my opinion, can be a detriment to a team.
It totally is, 100%. Yeah.
So, but yeah, you will not see me wall riding from Hanamura all the way to Lijiang Tower. Like I just that's just not me.
You got to do that
So
again. Wall riding.
wall riding, all that stuff. So, but yeah, good points because I feel like that, and that's another thing. I remember, man, this is like the fanboy of me coming out again. But I think you were streaming 2 years ago, maybe it was something.
It
It
was
was
probably
just
have
like
to have
when,
been more than that. Yeah.
yeah, it was just like when Overwatch 2 was just starting, and I think this is like when I was on my first team, and I remember asking you in your chat, I was like, I'm like, is there a chance for Masters players to get into Overwatch League? And I remember you talking about like, yeah, I was only a 3600 or 3700 player, and I got onto Immortals, and so ever since then I've there's a lot of uh, connection, and there's a lot of like, hey, related, like, I can relate to that
Relatability. Yeah.
because, right, I can relate to that, and because even though I'm a 4400 player, I'm not gonna have the same mechanics as some of the 42, 43, 4400 DPS or even DPS players. So for me, it was like looking at that. It's like, you know what, SR, yes, it's an important thing to get your name, set your foundation. But I feel like, and going back to my previous point, and this could be a little bit of a hot take for the traditionalists of, oh yeah, meta SR ladder. I feel like just being an overall good teammate, good person, effective communicator, effective leader, and I feel like I have those traits and those aspects that I just like. For me, it's just like I want to get, just give me an interview like this, like just give me this, and I hopefully I can sway some opinions around and be like, hey, this is someone that is something that can really bolster a team, and that's for me. That's why I'm trying to do the path to pro system, and I feel like with my skills, hopefully eventually that I can translate that onto an Overwatch League team. So,
Totally, man. And like that's the thing is like keep at it. Um, I think it's so easy for so many general managers or like even coaches to see like, okay, you're not in top 500, like that's it. You're not. I'm not gonna even look at
mhm,
you, right?
right,
Um,
right,
and I just think that's I don't value that. I don't go by that. Obviously, I'm not a general manager in the Overwatch League, right? But
right.
or a coach. But again, rank only says so much. It does matter. Like straight, like yes, if you're not in top, if you're not like high SR, there's definitely something wrong with your gameplay that you're doing, for
Mhm,
sure. There's got to
right,
be like you have some
right,
weaknesses that you got to work on straight up.
right,
But it shouldn't mean everything. Like whatever your
right,
SR is, for sure. Yeah.
right. I agree.